What's up guys, it's me, Emily G. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Very excited to have you here, and we have a lot to discuss today, specifically good news on this channel, which hopefully this channel is something you can come to. I had some people in the comments saying they watch my channel while they're eating their lunch or just hanging out, something in the background, nice, fun. And we talk about a lot of internet drama and, in the grand scheme of things, silly things that don't matter. But today I want to talk about something that very much does matter, which is that there was a huge breakthrough in cancer research over this last weekend, I think it was. And I know, of course, I'm late to covering this because I'm trying not to put more than one video out per day, which I can't believe those words are actually leaving my mouth. To think that I would be able to film a video and get it out, have one video a day, is crazy because I'm never really on top of things like that. So check my channel out. I've got a tons of different videos, different topics going on right now. And I don't know, some people have said they like to watch my videos when they eat, when they're at work, something in the background. So, you know, is this work safe? Possibly, depending on the topic. I'll try to keep it work safe today, but you know, feel free to listen and don't forget to like and subscribe, yada yada. Let's get into it. Anyways, great news today, which is fabulous because usually, like I said, sometimes it's not always great going out in the world, right? Even the other day, I opened my phone, which that was my first mistake, was opening my phone. But guys, Catherine O'Hara, and I'm really sad because she played Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek, and she was my favorite character, probably one of my favorite characters in TV. In fact, I was gonna wear my Moira shirt that I wore for Halloween. Can you picture it? I was gonna wear it. I'll try to put something up on the screen. But alas, I did not have the undershirt for it, so not today. But love you, Catherine O'Hara, rest in peace. And 71 is not old. Everyone is being like, oh, she was old, she had stuff going on. We could get into it, but I saw something about TMZ being like, the funeral is gonna be private, they're keeping everyone out. Yeah, it's a funeral. What did you expect? They were gonna be like, TMZ, come on over. And then TMZ was shaming them. I forget what the title was, but TMZ was shaming Catherine O'Hara's family because I guess the title was something about Catherine and her husband kept her illness secret. I'm like, TMZ, shut the fuck up. Sorry, can I curse on this channel? This is not work friendly, I lied. TMZ, shut up, nobody cares. You're lame for that, and you're exploitative. Anyways, so 71 is not old. And speaking of health and wellness and medical things, let's just jump right into today's topic. Ignore that I'm wearing pajama pants. Hopefully you guys can't see that. I'm going to try to crop this. But I want to talk to you guys today because there was a major breakthrough in cancer research. No thanks to a certain administration that cut funding for cancer research. Oops, didn't say that. Trying not to get political, but I feel like it's very prevalent. Yeah. A certain administration cut funding for it, but yet we had these amazing breakthroughs. No thanks to America. Forget the administration for a second, because this did not happen in America, right? This was a Spanish-speaking doctor. I believe his name was Mariano Barbacid. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Barbacid. And his team behind him, of course, because it takes more than one person. But something came out over the weekend about how, you know, Dr. Barbacid and his team were able to successfully cure pancreatic cancer in mice. Now, before we start saying, well, Emily, it's mice, it's not humans, unfortunately, there are still times when we practice on animals and it's not cruelty-free. And we can get into that whole nuanced conversation about it because I do not believe in harming animals for science or art or really anything. I think there's no excuse for it. But what happened has happened, and he has figured out how to cure it in mice. And it's not like he's the only one doing that, by the way. I don't mean to put that on him. So please, no attacking anybody in the comments. He and his team have discovered how to cure this in mice. And why this is so important is because that most things we do in science that are tested medically end up being tested on mice first, because they have a very similar, I mean, obviously not body structure. I don't know if it's nervous system or brain structure. I'm not really sure. But usually what we can figure out how to cure in mice, we end up being able to figure out how to cure in humans not long in the grand scheme of things afterwards. So this is amazing. I was reading a few articles that said it's a multi-step process, and they were able to eliminate, I think, 77, somewhere around there, don't quote me, percent of cases that had like a large pancreatic tumor in mice. And one of the reasons this is so amazing, as if it can't get more amazing, right, is because pancreatic cancer is one of the most aggressive forms of cancer out there, right? You have, of course, there's a billion kinds, unfortunately. Things like melanoma, skin cancer, are really common, but they're not aggressive in the sense that people can't come back from it. You know what I mean? Pancreatic cancer is almost a DEATH sentence. I hate to say it, but I think it's got a survival rate of 1%, less than 1% in people who are diagnosed stage 4 and later. And unfortunately with pancreatic cancer too, it's usually people don't get diagnosed until they're in, the later stages because it's so hard to catch. I had a neighbor actually, my Auntie Bet, in heaven now, shout out Auntie Bet, and she was healthy as a horse. She was older, yeah, but she could get around great. She was always yelling about something. She was in a jogging club. She would go walking every day. She was doing fabulous and she felt fabulous. And then I didn't hear from her for a while during COVID, and I was like, well, it's COVID, I'm away at school still, like, and then I just heard like she had passed away from pancreatic cancer that came on like a very sudden diagnosis. And pancreatic cancer can do that, right? Which is so horrible and unfortunate, and fuck cancer, and fuck the people who are defunding research for cancer, because when you have a team and you have money and you have people who know what they're doing, this is what can happen, right? Is we can figure out cures for this and treatments. And even though it is a 3-step process and it wasn't, 100% successful, this is one of the bigger breakthroughs we've ever had in cancer research thus far. And one of the main reasons it's become a talking point online is because and it's become a talking point for all the wrong reasons, right? As the internet usually does, right? Dr. Mariano Barbacid has I guess you would call it like a birthmark on his face, and it's a prominent birthmark, right? Like, these things happen, right? It's nothing he can control. And so people, instead of being like, woohoo, this guy cured cancer, like, it's like, guys, what's wrong with his face? I'm like, are we for serious right now? Can we have a little decorum on the internet, please? I mean, I know that's too much to ask of the internet, but like, to see like grown adults who are like, wow, that's great, but he should fix that first. I'm like, what the frick? Like, are we serious? How insulting. And I think he's got a lot more to celebrate than you have a lot more to talk about with him, right? I don't know. I think one of the things that was interesting too was that everywhere, and we should be celebrating this guy, right? For sure, 1000%. But it was really hard for me to find posts that involved his team, especially because I had seen one or two that had a picture. And this team is 10 to 15 people, I think, from my memory. I'll put it up on screen. But the majority in the team are women. And I hate to take it to that place, right? But when there's success in a scientific, mathematic field, right, there are women there. And yes, it's great that he is the face of this, but I think we need to be celebrating the entire team a little bit more, right? Because, that's why. I don't know. We need to be celebrating the whole entire team more. It's important that everyone gets the recognition. And I'm very happy for everybody, and I don't want to make it a big deal. I don't think it is a big deal, but I've been seeing like fan art go around, and it's beautiful artwork going around of this doctor. And I'm like, let's celebrate like the women there too, So I don't know, just a wonderful thing. I want to keep this one more short because I really don't have much to say other than like, this is great news and fuck cancer. But yeah, it's great. It's great news. In terms of what this is going to look like for humanity as a species, I'm sure it could be, years to decades until we figure this out in people. And a lot of that's because of like limitations in testing and legalities, right? Like, usually we find with people who end up being patient zero when it comes to a cure or testing is it's like, there's no other out for me. Well, I guess that's what's the word I'm looking for? I guess that would be more probable in this since, you know, pancreatic cancer has such a high mortality rate. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there currently who have that disease that are, hey, I'll try anything. So I don't know what this will look like. Like, if anybody knows the inner workings of how the FDA and all these medical boards and things operate, let me know in the comment section. I mean, I'm curious to see like how quickly we could get a move on with this. And of course it's time and money, and time is money. And not to mention that this is happening not where I am, right? I'm in America. This is happening over in Europe places. So we'll see. I know that a lot of people subscribe to the conspiracy theory that there already is a cure for cancer out there and it belongs only to the wealthy or those in power. And I think it's such a negative thing to believe, yet at the same time, I sometimes could understand that. Like, I can't understand it, but I could almost see it happening. But I choose right now to believe, right, that there is no conspiracy theory, and hopefully like we figure it out, right? Because it's such a complex scientific thing, obviously. And there are very smart people out there, I think, who are working on this. So hopefully everything goes well. And like I said, I just wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter because it's good news. There's nothing bad about this. I think it's great news, and I really hope that people see this and think, hey, wait, we should really be putting our money into cancer research. Let's make it happen. And people vote for people who are going to put their money into cancer research, vote for people who are going to put tax money into cancer research, and all kinds of things like that, so that we can all be taken care of, because everybody watching right now knows somebody who either has had or has, you know, lost their life because of cancer. So it is a very, very common issue, and that's probably how we'll all go. Like, to be honest, that's how most of us are gonna go. Hate to be so negative. But if we could figure this out, wow, would that like really up the life expectancy of people, you know? So what an amazing thing. And yeah, just sending my love to Dr. Mariano and all the team behind him, everybody involved. And I really hope that we get more good news like this in the future. So Lord knows with 2026, we need some of that more good news. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.